I went to Candace Owens' YouTube page. I scrolled down her videos, and somewhere between a year and 2 years ago, she started to put a white frame around pictures, the graphics. They try to they consume everything. By doing that, they're trying to consume the white tablet teleprompter I found on fault lines from Russia Today, Sputnik. Jamal Thomas, Farron Franzak. Now I'm talking like the AI I recited the other day. I forget exactly, but they just start naming names like Ezra Klein. Yeah. I don't follow this shit. I got nothing to do with it. I just notice it because it's everywhere. Then they try to consume it. It's why they use mimicry. It was mentioned in Snowden documents. Mimicry. Deny, deflect. I don't go at this the way I used to. I could come up with nice screenshots. I would put work into it. Now I just want to get the points across because they're effing with the stats. There's no way in hell those channels are as popular as they appear. No way. I took a screenshot here. I got one. She's plugging this guy Ian Carroll. The way Jimmy Dore just gives his show to other people. How they promote one another. A few days ago, I do an audiobook on Candace Owens. I never watch her channel. I never watch her. I only just see that she's using a white frame as her main graphics for her thumbnails. They try to consume everything. The AI consumes everything. They are in the Freemasonry, the King Solomon. It's all about building the King Solomon in private, and then it's a voila moment, and then the peasants, the masses, they don't need to know what's going on, how the society is organized. They don't need to know that. The Freemasons are the ones who organize everything. So Candace Owens is working for the U.S. military. Joe Rogan is U.S. military. All that shit is military. Demented, perverted. Like truly fucked up. And the reason why they put in that white frame is to consume the finding of the white tablet teleprompter that looks just like that. They're all scripted. I proved they're scripted. Now I prove that they have misaligned eyes. No, I can prove lots of things. It's just pointless to keep doing what I do. But it worked what I did. And I'm thankful. I know that a lot of people are listening to me and they're blocking the stats. That's how the internet's a dead end. They were stupid enough to be sloppy enough to make it easy to see what they're doing. and then everyone quit, forcing them more and more into the language learning model system. There's no way in hell they were planning on it like this. They wanted real people. They wanted us to keep writing, to keep talking, to keep feeding their machine that they're going to consume. So they're consuming the idea of the white tablet teleprompter. Candace Owens gets the 2 million page views or whatever. I get the 2-page views. Now, those aren't the real numbers, and I'm not saying I'm not saying anything other than that. They manipulate the numbers. They refuse to let anything threatening to the system gain any traction. The only traction we ever gain is when we use our human ingenuity, our individuality. Anything else is entrapment. I prove they're all scripted, and I think they've been pushed into it's a reversal of a double bind. They're trapped by themselves. It's similar to how ad blocker works. There's nothing those fuckers can do about ad block unless they bought it, unless they prevented anyone else from doing what ad block does. I wanted to use the word literally, but now I never want to use it again. They would love to be able to use AI to make things look realistic. In regards to interviews on these podcasts, they would love that. They would love it if not one person questioned the logistics of what we're saying, not even going into the content. McLuhan taught us that content has been rendered meaningless by the medium, which we know better than McLuhan about ownership of the medium and how stuff travels. One doesn't even have to reflect on anything to have noticed how the search engines changed. Someone would have to be be very young to not have noticed the change in the search engine. But I'm not going to study it. None of us can study this stuff. They would love us to get back involved into their parameter game. So that's what came out of the paper out of Eglin Air Force Base. That they're going to have influencer nodes who represent the parameters of what they offer for free speech. One can talk like a Noam Chomsky, which is what that actually is. So Noam Chomsky has talked about manufactured consent and parameters provided. And he said there can be I remember one thing I heard from Noam years ago, something about there is quite a bit of freedom within what is allowed. I'm only continuing to make these videos because it feels like the right thing to do, which is what Bohm and Krishnamurti said. That it's the right thing to try. So I'm trying to get anyone out there who somehow is listening to me to recognize that those asswipes are bouncing their eyes across rooms in pre-established interviews. They want us to feel stupid so we can't just spit shit out. I don't feel stupid, I spit shit out. I'm not the only one who doesn't feel stupid. It sucks because even if one realizes, say, like, they should quit cigarettes, they don't, because the pull is so strong. The withdrawal is so tough. Knowing that the smoke will correct that withdrawal pain. So one figures out that the internet's rigged, but it's a big chunk of what is there to get through a day. To not get the so-called hurt brain. I suppose it takes some sort of leap of faith to let go of the medium. I think the only solution is to seize it all, to turn the internet into a utility, that there can be no rest until the bad people get what they deserve. I plugged in Candace Owens' house. Apparently she's living in Austin, Texas. What a coincidence. Guess that's it. Feeling good right now, in which I don't feel that tug to be looking at social media. When I say I look at them, I put them on mute. I got my own eccentric way of being addicted to the internet. I don't listen to them. I put it on closed caption recently more often. I got huge page hit views for one of those audiobooks I made. But then it went down to nothing. Only 5 for the Candace Owens thing. And then today, it's all over the place. The French hit list thing, and that should be called my scoop then. Or no one's going to believe this, but they frickin' mimic me. They mimic me. They want me to say that they mimic me. Because it can't sound that legit if someone's saying they're mimicking. He thinks they're mimicking him. So she got that white frame. The one that seems the easiest one to prove that they mimic me is Jimmy Dore one day. He had like 10 minutes of Ben Shapiro getting slapped by the Three Stooges. Jimmy Dore was showing clips of the Three Stooges, and then Ben Shapiro was getting beat up and slapped. And for about 2 months previous to that, I was making videos off of a He Who Got Slapped movie with Lon Chaney. And then I think it was right before then I put it all together as a compilation. And then Jimmy Dore shows up and does, I mean, that's Tokyo Champ. I mean, my avatar is a stooge. And I was doing that He Who Gets Slapped. So how was Jimmy Dore? And then they make it so it seems like my page stats, no one listens to what I'm saying. They want me to feel that, in my opinion. They want people who might otherwise be curious about a video I make, but they won't go. They'll that thing had one of those audiobooks was like up to 800 page views around there, and it still said no views on the search, on the YouTube search for Tokyo Champ. I came up with that username because I knew it would be an easy name to remember. It's a combination of Tokyo Rose with Champ. Champ's like Madonna, the one name, kind of. Champ. Yeah, Champ, yep. Prince, Champ, Madonna. Charo. All the younger people in the audience might not know who Charo was. She used to go on the Love Boat, I think, quite often. A lovely, lovely, lovely woman. Did I lip smack? Sorry about that. That should do it. I've came up with scoop after scoop. I even came up with the one a week ago, Claudia Stober, friends of Debbie Lusignan. And Debbie Lusignan, I found her. I'm not going to run through it all. So anyway, I came up with like scoop after scoop for 20 years, 15 years. They ran shit to F with me through the Kimberlin, SWATgate, Wienergate. I bet a lot of that language learning model it'll come out in like 50, 100 years. They'll list me as. So I'm like the sperm donor for language learning model, if I had to guess. But that makes me sound like a narcissist, and so it's psychological, as Joe Rogan said the other day. It's psychological, dog. I guess the saving grace is that we're not bouncing around from those teleprompters in their eyes. I see it. It's funny. It's so funny. I think it's funny. And I just want to keep pounding on them psychologically. But I want to do it in a way in which I no longer make these videos, so it's telepathic. It's timeless. They can't escape it. It can never be fixed for them. They are the modern day slave owners who you fast forward and it's elimination. Where are they? There's no slave owning now. They're modern day slave owners. The Joe Rogans, the Candace Owens, the Cenk Uyghurs, the Sam Cedars. each and every visible person on social media is a legitimate target to be doxxed and to be shamed and driven off of the internet. We should turn this into a utility. No negotiating. And every last dollar from Bezos, Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, every last penny from everyone involved in the raping and pillage of America, every last penny gets returned to us. Surveillance gets fucking down the toilet. This shit needs to end. This shit has officially ended from my location. They can't find me, 'cause I'm not located in the brain. I'm not a fucking chicken-faced bitch cunt playing psychological operations.